Hey everybody, welcome to Game Day View presented by Caesars Sportsbook. Patrick Claybon back here with my good friends Greg Rosendahl and Cynthia Freeland. We are here. It is championship weekend. Two collections of somebody are going to be playing for the Super Bowl, Greg.
I mean, who cares about the Super Bowl when we got Cynthia Freeland going undefeated week after week making her picks? She's
fun.
hot in the playoffs.
I'm glad we don't have to pick up all the confetti after the show today. That's just making me happy.
Well, ultimately, we will have some confetti. If I'm here by myself, I will explode the confetti in full form because Cynthia is so hot right now. 4-0 in her picks last week. It's already removing Greg and I from the circumstances. Don't even look at.
I'm not mathematically eliminated. Speak for yourself.
Okay, I will speak for myself. I was miserable last week. I was rooting to go 0-4 at a certain point just to fully fail because that means I dared the greatest. Here's a look at the schedule for Championship Sunday. We get a chance to see the Patriots traveling to take on the 1 seed. It's 2 versus 1 in the AFC. Starts at 3 p.m. on CBS. And then in the NFC, it's a rematch. Round 3, Rams at Seahawks coming up 6:30 p.m. Eastern on Fox. The last time it was the Rams and Seahawks, it was Week 16 and an instant classic.
Live from Lumen Field in Seattle. Welcome to Week 16. Welcome to Thursday Night Football. Rams lead by 16 on the road.
Seahawks can jump right back into this game with a big return here. Makes the catch at his own 43. Starts up the middle. Turns upfield. There he goes. Holy catfish. Fires backside. Wide open. Reaching up. Touchdown. Seahawks.
Game of the year is going to overtime. Lets it go right side. Caught! Puka, touchdown!
Sam steps, looks, throws back in the end zone. Touchdown! If the Seahawks score the 2-point conversion, they're going to beat the Rams. Darnold has time. Looks inside. It's caught! The Seahawks win the game. Instant classic, as they say.
What a game. We'll get to our game picks for Championship Sunday coming up later on in the show. Right now, let's just discuss the Rams and the Seahawks and our players to watch on the offensive side of the ball. Who you got your eyes on, Greg?
I have one of the greatest players of his generation that has not yet been to the Super Bowl. It's a big game for Davante Adams because his connection with Matthew Stafford hasn't really been locked in the playoffs. Maybe they changed it around in overtime last week in Chicago. 19 targets in the playoffs, only 7 receptions. The yards per target, the yards per route run, they just haven't been in sync. And why he's the player to watch to me is if the Rams are going to beat this level of defense, this incredible secondary, it's just going to be great players beating good coverage. Like, it's our good is just too good for you. And that's Davante Adams making catches in tight window throws, difficult throws from Matthew Stafford. It's not going to be easy, but if he can get over the hump this week, I think it's really going to help the Rams.
I think this is the game where number ones need to show up as number one. So you talk about, great players, great coverages, good coverages. Well, I'm looking at Jackson Smith and Jigba. Obviously, he had a great season. We know that from his receiving yards. But if you're looking at the opportunity in this game to get ahead of the Rams and potentially stay ahead, because I think that the Rams, I think we can all agree, it's better for them if they're playing with the lead as opposed to playing from behind. We've seen some deep passes be allowed to this defense, against this defense, some busted coverages of late. The defense has not looked like the same defense we saw at the very beginning of the season, so we need the big guys to step up in this matchup. Of course, we saw Cooper Kupp come on very strong. Of course, revenge, blah, blah, blah. But ultimately, Jackson Smith and Jigba is going to need to be very JSN. Like, even if he's not the subject of every pass, he's still going to need to draw all the coverages to get other guys open.
Maybe the Seahawks aren't built to play from behind watch.
Yes,
I know you're always all over.
And we'll see if somebody does say that, because who would build a team intending to trail in football games? One thing that would help the Rams prevent from being trailing is to have Kyren Williams have a solid game. He had 91 yards and a touchdown on just 12 carries. Just 12 carries, 91 yards back in Week 11 against Seattle. He forced a ton of missed tackles. How many, you say? The Seahawks missed 19% of their tackles that day. That was their worst tackling performance of the entire season. Kyren Williams and the Rams blockers, which include Puka Nacua, had a significant amount to do with that. I think he's a big-time player to watch in this game. But let's flip it over to the defensive side of the ball. Who do you think has a big game in this one, Greg?
Okay, I'm going to go with a football hipster pick.
Oh.
It's Byron Murphy. And I am a football hipster. It's you're watching the film. It's not the obvious choice. It's a guy who, when you look at him in the all-22, the overhead angle, that he's pushing that pocket. And so many times, someone else cleans up the play that Byron Murphy essentially started. And he is just a load to deal with on one-on-ones. And it's against the run, and it's against the pass. So a lot of times, look, they're only sending 4 rushers, and he makes the quarterback move, and he ends up moving right into one of those edge players. And they're the best short yardage defense in the league. It's a lot of Byron Murphy. And yes, at the football hipster meeting, they actually hand out these glasses and this jacket. So I'm wearing the uniform right now.
To like
nice.
snap at the end or something, just make it right. Okay, so is it hipster to talk about Nicky Manwari? Can I be hipster too?
He's too mainstream
Okay, fine.
at this point.
It's very motorcycle jacket. It's very moto to talk about Nick Emanwari, which is very important. No, look, he's my D-Roy. Obviously, we'll have to see who wins the actual award. But in this particular matchup, the thing I think will be interesting to see what happens is they like to play a lot of small ball, meaning they'll use a lot of defensive backs. And then what happens in that situation? Well, Sean McVay is like, how about we play 13, meaning lots of tight ends, 3 tight ends. And that's a mismatch physically. not against Nicky Manwari, it's not. So he's up front, he's in the back, he's kind of doing everything. He's my defensive rookie of the year. Maybe he will actually win the award. But all of us Moto NFL.
I think that jacket fits with like Emanwari. He's just cooler. Like you're cooler.
Well, I'll take a break.
Eric called me cool. Just kidding.
I mean, both outfits are very cool. I'll take a break from fashion as a representation of self because I think you could just put on different clothes and not necessarily change the person you are. Kobe Turner has my favorite stat of this postseason. The Rams had the highest pressure rate in the entire NFL, 42.3%, with Kobe Turner off the field. He comes off the field, guys. Disaster. It craters to 27.2%. They become the San Francisco 49ers without Kobe Turner on the field. It would have been the 3rd worst in the league. Had a great game earlier this season against the Seattle Seahawks. I think he comes back and has another solid one in this matchup. In fact, all 4 teams have solid defenses this weekend, but the experts do see some points showing up on the scoreboards. Conference championship point totals, 42.5 for the Patriots and the Broncos, 46.5 for the Rams against those Seahawks, as we get a chance to get our foam fingers and get to over-under. We will start with that 46.5 number for the Rams and the Seahawks. They scored 75 earlier in their epic Week 16 matchup that went into overtime, and I think it goes over once again. I've got a 26-24 score for a total of 50 points. It's a lot. Is a lot of it because I love that Week 16 score fest? Yes. I also think some of those points get scored on 4th down. Both teams will be aggressive and get just above that number, Greg.
I went back and forth all week with my picks. And we're not going to give you the pick right now because these games just mean more. But I feel strongly that we're going under this week. This I did not go back and forth. I think it's more of a defensive game than the last time that they played. You look at the weather. Stafford hasn't been great. It is, it's going to be cold out there. And ultimately, I think the Rams defense is getting slept on. These are both top 5 defenses. It's a playoff game, a lot of running. I think the score stays nice and low.
Okay, so I have a...
Oh, you're wrong.
I'm wrong. You're wrong.
See?
40.
It's different than me.
Oh, so if it's different than you, then it's wrong. Yeah. Got it. I have 48 points in this matchup. I just think one of the things that I'm very curious to see in this game will be if they have an answer, like for who scores in the red area for Seattle with the running backs, given that Zach Charbonnet is not there. I know we saw Kenneth Walker have 3 touchdowns last time, but are the Rams going to let them do that? I'm not sure.
Yeah, a lot of fun to watch, and a great, Cynthia pointing out the intricacies of RedZone offense versus Greg saying, no, it won't. It's like the classic Onion article. Well, we're just getting started here on Game Day View. Up next, it's time to check in with the Patriots and the Broncos. We're telling you which players are going to ball out Sunday in Mile High. You're watching Game Day View.
I mean, I noted the weather. I said they're good in short yardage. I had some reasons.
You're
We're presented
wrong.
by Caesar Sportsbook, and we'll be right back.
Comes a 4-man rush. May stands in, throws a long ball deep down the right side for Keyshawn Booby. Reaches out with the right hand, pulls it in. Touchdown! Patriots! A diving grab
It's up. That's a hell of a throw. 3rd and 4. They walk Henderson up. They're telling the Texans, we're throwing it. Drake May says, I don't care.
The Patriots and the Broncos squaring off Sunday at Mile High. We'll give you our picks for who's going to win later on in the show. Right now, let's talk some players to watch in this game. We'll start on offense, Cynthia. Who's the one guy that we all want to discuss?
Jarrett Stidham? Maybe the worst nickname. Let's not call him that nickname anymore.
Stiddy?
Not a good
Cynthia,
one.
not a fan.
It's fine. It's his last
Look it up in Urban Dictionary.
She's recoiling.
I'm recoiling. It's like the M word. We don't need any of that. But ultimately, I'm looking at what kind of player is Jarrett Stidham. Ha! Fun fact. I have seen him throw the most passes in person. I was there during the preseason when he played the Cardinals, and he threw 2 touchdown passes to Troy Franklin. But the thing that I want to point out about him that I think is very important to know for this matchup is that he uses his legs. In fact, coming out of high school, he was the #1 dual threat quarterback in terms of ranking. So I know that sounds silly, but the point is they're not going to have to change absolutely everything to accommodate what Jarrett Stidham is best at, even though he hasn't taken a pass in like 2 seasons. You know, he hasn't played since week 18 of 2023. But I'm looking at the opportunity here and the way that their offense works and who his play caller is, and I think that we'll be pleasantly surprised with his outcome.
Yeah, a pleasant surprise also for the folks at 247 Sports with the composite rankings going back and having Jarrett Stidham there. A lot of traffic being
The point
driven.
I'm just trying to say is that he does use his legs.
Yes.
He's not a pocket passer.
He
He's a mobile quarterback.
I think the point is he is better than Lamar Jackson and Sam Darnold and
Joe Burrow
It's
and
all on
Kyler
that
Murray
list. Yeah.
as well. The player I'd like to watch is Drake May, another quarterback. But I would like to watch him running the ball. He can do it, folks. 10.3% of his dropbacks resulted in a scramble. He was top 3 in that capacity in the league. And I think he's going to be trying to take care of the ball. And what were the 4 top Drake May rushing yardage games? Against the pressure teams, the Falcons, the playoff game against the Texans, the playoff game against the Chargers, and a game against Myles Garrett and the Browns. In this situation, May runs, and I think he may run well, Greg.
He is a home run hitter. To continue to use different sports analogy, Patrick's been calling him a bucket getter all season long. So it's all about the running, it's all about the vertical passing, and that's going to go to Kayshon Boutte in this game. Kayshon Boutte has gotten past the point of being like, oh, it's a funny name or it's like a funny little story. No, he is legit talented. His contested catch rate is awesome. If you look at him and Stephon Diggs, they have 2 of the highest percentage of catches in terms of completion percentage on 20-plus air yard throws of any wide receivers in the league. They're 2nd and 3rd, and I've just watched it for season after season. That one-handed catch isn't the first time. Even as a rookie in training camp, preseason, he is a bucket getter too. He doesn't need to be wide open. It's a lot of time on the sideline, and you're going to have to make those types of catches against a great secondary like the
Can't it
Broncos.
be both?
What?
Can't he also be great and have a cool name?
Absolutely.
Okay.
I'm just saying, like,
Okay, he's just not one thing.
he's
There's
not
multiple.
like some like under-talented guy that Drake May's propping up. He's going to be making himself some big money in free agency in a
Great,
couple of
but
years.
he also has a cool name.
Yeah.
Yes.
Both
That's
things can be true. Let's go over to the defensive side of the ball. Who are we looking at on the defensive side, Cynthia?
Nick Bonito. Well, he has a 20% pressure rate this season, 2nd highest this season. However, since 2018, only 8 guys have finished a regular season over 20%. His is 20.2%. So it might be 2nd best this year, but it is still among the 8 best in the last several seasons. Also, where he lines up, on the right side, who does that mean he's going to face? Will Campbell, who since coming back from injury, 4 sacks surrendered and a much higher quick pressure rate. And we know Nick Bonito, 11% quick pressure rate. So that's going to be a big matchup to watch in this game.
I'm going to talk about Christian Gonzalez, who had an all-pro season last year, maybe wasn't his best this year, and then the playoffs started. This is a man with maybe the lowest heart rate in interviews of any person I've ever heard talking. He is just so chill, and he's that chill when the ball is in the air too, staying calm until the last second and then knocking it away. I think his best 2 games of the entire season are these 2 games against the Chargers and then last week against the Texans. Tough competition. He'll have it this week. I think he matches up really well with Cortland Sutton, and he's a guy who to me is one of the very best at his position, playing his best in the playoffs.
Why was he targeted 16 times?
I don't know, because
By the way,
CJ
that's the
Stroud
most?
had a death wish.
Correct. I was just curious if you had a reason, because you're a hipster. Is there a hipster?
It added up to less than 70 yards, which if you do the math, it wasn't working.
It was 58 yards, not even 60 yards. I just don't know why you would do that.
Well, there's multiple bad options back there in the secondary, because I would like to watch Marcus Jones in his performance. There's a little bit of a cheat code there, because Marcus Jones can definitely impact this game on special teams, but also, he bothers quarterbacks. He had what could have been the game-winning touchdown against the Houston Texans. He had 11 passes defended this season, 3 interceptions. A couple of those, he was baiting the opposing quarterback, like he got Joe Flacco there to walk in for this touchdown. I think he also adds an interception in the AFC Championship game coming up here on Sunday. Let's take a look at some notable player props according to our friends at Caesars. Drake May, 265.5 total yards, rushing and passing. Ramondre at 49.5 rushing yards. Stephon Diggs getting 46.5 through the air. Jarrett Stidham sitting there at a half of a passing touchdown. So does he not? And Cortland Sutton with 50.5 receiving yards. So let's get our foam fingers back. I went to the foam fingers too earlier. The point total for this game, 42.5. And I will take the under. I got 39 points. The reason that I have 39 points is I see a Patriots team that's going to be fairly conservative against a backup quarterback, keep things low. Maybe that keeps them in the game, but a game the Patriots can probably win if they don't turn the ball over.
To quote Adam Sandler, I disagree. Let's go over, because I don't think the Patriots have been conservative all season. They're bucket getters. They're going to go deep down the field. And I think Jarrett Stidham is not really born to be conservative either. I think that's high variance, might be turnovers, but might be a lot of big plays too. I think the offenses show up.
I have it fewer than that. I have only 41 total points in this matchup. I think both defenses have earned our respect. And also, I'm going to tell you a little something about altitude on Sunday. So that does factor into this game. Nerd stuff.
Deep tease.
Deep tease.
Regarding the lack of depth or proximity to the edge of the atmosphere. Still to come, only 4 teams left standing. Who's locking down a trip to Super Bowl 60 this weekend? We're making the case for why any of the remaining teams could be going to Santa Clara for a shot at the Lombardi Trophy. We believe in you, Jarrett Stidham. Crazier things have happened. We'll be back on Game Day View.
There is no tomorrow.
Can't stop, won't stop, let the games begin. Never giving up, that's how the champions win.
To the end zone. Holy catfish!
You won't beat us. No, you won't beat us.
Seahawks are moving on.
And Denver's going to the AFC Championship game.
We're champions, we're winners.
Time for Make the Case. Use your favorite book of choice to be sworn in. No, I'm just kidding. Let's jump into these championship Sunday matchups and do a little fill in the blank. Are you guys ready for that?
Please.
Okay. The Patriots are trying to make it back to the Super Bowl for the first time since 2018. Cynthia Freeland, the Patriots will win on Sunday and go back to the Super Bowl if
they can run the football at the level we've been seeing them run the football. I've seen Drake May have some issues under pressure with fumbling, and what is the way to counterbalance that? Well, it's to run the football. Now, if you look at where they've been successful, it's been on these inside rushes where both of the lead backs, well, they've averaged over 5 yards per carry. They rank among the top 5 in the league at those inside runs. Now, here's the tricky part. They usually run when their quarterback is under center, and the Broncos are very good at that particular configuration, shutting down the run. So if they can figure out how to overcome the Broncos' great run defense, especially in that situation, good things will happen.
Let's go to the other side. 10 years ago, the Broncos beat New England to go to the Super Bowl. It's Super Bowl 50, which they beat the Carolina Panthers. Greg, the Broncos will return to the big game if
Stidham plays near his ceiling, and that ceiling is a lot higher than people think. I think Jarrett Stidham has some electric tape out there. I'm just going to say it. Look at this dime he had in the preseason against San Francisco. But no, when you go back to his days as a starter under Josh McDaniels with the Raiders, he is a big, strong athlete with a big arm. And what Sean Payton has done is give this man 2 contracts. And what Sean Payton has also done is win a lot of games with backup quarterbacks who are a lot less talented. How he handles the moment and his decision-making and how quickly he gets to his second read, we don't know about that. But I'm telling you, just in terms of physical, raw skill set, he has enough to pop up and play excellent for 1 week or maybe 2 if they get this victory.
I love it. My apologies for laughing. It was just the one shot. It's limited tape of him have the super clean pocket and throw it to a guy who was not defended.
That was a bad job by the Cardinals in the preseason. What could they do? They were just, playing in front of Cincy.
Stiddy was dialing him up. Moving to the Rams and the Seahawks. LA looking for revenge after the Week 16 collapse in Seattle. Cynthia, the Rams will win the game if
they stop explosive plays, both in the run game and in the passing game. But just mostly those passing explosives where, Caleb Williams kind of showed the format for what could potentially happen, where the busted coverages could be, but no explosive plays. It's okay if you give them a first down or whatever. Just don't let the crazy deep pass from Sam Darnold just light you up. Don't let KW3 or whatever they want to call him, Kenneth Walker III, don't let him run for 50 yards. These are the types of things you have to stop from happening.
Let's go to the Seahawks side, Greg. They win if
they run the ball. This is like, I've become that guy, a run the football type of guy. Look, the Seahawks are the best team in the NFL when they run the ball well. It's just, I don't even think it's close. And you talked about the explosive plays. That's dead on. They've been getting it on the ground, Cynthia. They haven't even completed a pass of 20 air yards or more since that last Rams game. You know how many close games they've had since then? None. They're still blowing teams out because they're so complete on defense and up front. It's taken a minute to get this Clint Kubiak ground game in sync, but I've seen it the last 4 weeks. It's a talented offensive line that's much better run blocking, I believe, than they will be in pass protection. So if they can run it, I think they steamroll the Rams.
You say they are the favorite, and the folks at Caesars do agree. Let's look at the odds to win Super Bowl 60, and it is the Seahawks at plus 150, plus 220 for the Rams, plus 245 for the New England Patriots. And Jarrett, we're sorry. The Denver Broncos are plus 1,300, and I think that is specifically because Jarrett Stidham will play.
People gave Case Keenum more respect. I guess he had a nice season back in the day.
Yeah.
Come on.
Playoff legend, Case Keenum. It's time for this guy or that guy. We'll put some stars head-to-head. First one, Greg. Who has more completions Sunday, Drake May or Jarrett Stidham, your guy?
Well, he's not my guy. Drake May is the guy, and he's the MVP candidate. So I'm going with Drake May with more completions on Sunday. Look, I don't think it's necessarily going to be a conservative game plan, but one thing I've really appreciated about May and McDaniels, his offensive coordinator, Josh McDaniels this season, is they've adjusted in-game really well to what the defense is showing them. So you could see a situation where maybe he starts out slow. That's been the case in the postseason. And then you look at his second half numbers in the postseason, and they're really excellent. So they've kind of diagnosed, and then they figure it out. Don't be surprised if he comes on strong after a slow start.
Cynthia, who throws more touchdowns in the NFC game, Sam Darnold or Matthew Stafford?
Matthew Stafford. To me, this is all about game plan and where the best players are. You always have that threat of, Devonta Adams or any of the tight ends, or even, of course, that guy Puka Nacua. So I just think Matthew Stafford throws for. I'm not suggesting that's not saying who necessarily wins yet, just who throws more touchdowns.
Let's go to more receiving yards, Hunter Henry or R.J. Harvey. I like Hunter Henry in this matchup because you're going to get the play action run game. Cynthia talked about the New England Patriots running the ball from under center. Hunter Henry did not have a lot of opportunities against the Houston Texans. I think this game is significantly different and more work for the tight end. And again, what I think will be a little bit of a dialed back game plan. Back to Greg. Who has the bigger impact, Colby Parkinson or A.J. Barner, tight end duel?
Oh, well, it's A.J. Barner, because only one of these two is also the short yardage back for the Seattle Seahawks. That's A.J. Barner. We're going to watch him catching passes, and he's been underrated. He missed a couple games this season, but so many of the big plays this season have gone to A.J. Barner. Great touchdown celebration. I swear that he's 8'7" and like 600 pounds. There's something, he's just very physically imposing for a guy that moves that well. But like I said, Cynthia, I gave him the edge in this one because he is 10 of 11 on sneaks this year. So he is their answer to the tush push, and he's very good at it.
For absolutely no reason, his tape is my favorite to watch. So whenever I'm going through, I'm always like, "Oh yes, it's time to watch." I have no idea why, but I've never even met the man. I wouldn't pick him out on the street.
Scary.
He's super scary, and he's a threat to score a touchdown. So I will say, Clint Kubiak probably getting a lot of things because of the fun, cool things that A.J. Barner's been able to do for him.
We got some fun, cool receivers this weekend. More receptions, Stephon Diggs or Cortland Sutton?
Stephon Diggs, I don't know. This one, they both average about 4, but when I looked into my model, it's like Cortland Sutton, 3.98. Stephon Diggs, 4.13. So I guess it's kind of both right around 4, but Stephon Diggs for me in large part because they're going to have to figure out ways to leverage the fact that during the playoffs, you already mentioned this, the potential for he and Drake May to line up. They're just lining up all over, and they have this crazy good reception, passer rating, all those things together during the playoffs. So I just think Stephon Diggs by a tiny bit.
When you need a big play, and it's the Patriots, it just goes to Stephon Diggs. His impact, and he's one of the comeback player of the year candidates this year, he's a finalist, has been even greater, I think, than his good numbers show, because so many times in the season, when you absolutely need to have that first down, it's Stephon Diggs that delivers.
Yeah, those guys stepping up in key moments. I'm going to talk about a couple of guys who just stepped up, period. More receiving yards, Puka or JSN. I will side with Puka Nacua. It's hard to look away from 225 yards receiving in Week 16. Again, that was the second time these two teams have played. It's not like there was some recent revelation that, this Puka Nacua guy exists. Like, there was a full opportunity to game plan. He still went off. I'm going to lean Puka in this matchup.
I mean, I think that it could be very realistic that Puka Nacua has the most receptions and Jackson Smith-Njigba has the most yards, or vice versa. I think both of them have to have big games in this matchup.
I have a stat for you from Next Gen Stats. Puka Nacua in that matchup had more yards against non-cornerbacks, and that was against the Seahawks, in any game for any wide receiver all season. So that tells me that Sean McVay knows how to dictate the right matchups to get his guy a lot of yards.
And maybe it says that Mike Mack doesn't necessarily want a cornerback going up against Puka in the run game and getting road graded or whatever they say. Good box. Coming up, we got a rubber match for the ages. It's between the Rams and the Seahawks. Round 3, winner goes to Super Bowl 60 to play where the 49ers play. Take that, coach. Loser goes home or wherever they would like to go. We got options, a whole planet. We got picks for who wins the NFC Championship coming up next. Back on Game Day View, looking back at what was maybe the game of the season, the Rams and the Seahawks in Week 16. Pick it up, Seahawks down 2. 2-point conversion attempt with 6:23 to go is no good, but it's under review, and they may get another opportunity here, Grant.
I am just impressed with the fortitude for them to win in those uniforms. And also, they were down 30-14, and Darnold threw an interception before that with 9 minutes to go to set that up. It's insane.
So now we go to overtime, 30-36, 34 to go. Matthew Stafford, Puka Nacua, Puka to the paint. Rams take the lead in overtime. Things are feeling good. Puka and Stafford dapping each other up, but here come the Seahawks, Cynthia. 37-30, Darnold backline, JSN touchdown.
I mean, I don't know. This is just what we call magic. This is complete magic right here.
And then they go for 2. Good protection, Darnold. Touchdown, 2-point conversion, good, and that's the ball game. Blitz, the mascot out there celebrating Sam Darnold, and the Seahawks complete the comeback. They beat the Rams, a big part of why this game is at home as we get to seize the season, presented by Caesars Sportsbook. Looking at the first touchdown score odds, it is KW3, JSN, Puka Nacua, Kyron Williams, and Devontae Adams, who do not have abbreviated nicknames, but the other guys do. Well, let's dive into this monster matchup. The league's top scoring offense versus the top scoring defense. Rams, Seahawks, part 3. We finally get a chance to make our picks. Who's going to the Super Bowl, Cynthia?
The Birds, the Seahawks are going 25-23. So a close game, but ultimately Seattle comes out on top by 2 points. I just want to talk about this defense for a second. The fact that the pressures are coming from all different directions. If you talk about number of different defenders with X amount of pressures all season long, it's been like, hey, did you know the Seahawks? They're the only team with X amount of defenders with X amount of pressures. Like, we've said that all season long, and that's a real thing. Then you go kind of compound that with the fact that the secondary now fully healthy. I could name some cool stats about every single one of these defenders, but ultimately I'm just looking at, like, will these guys be able to step up? Will this Mike McDonald, they've learned from both matchups. Both matchups have been close. I think, 3 points total that separates both games. It will just be who can hold for a little bit longer, and I think that the home field advantage does come into play there.
I went back and forth on this all week long. Like, my heart and, like, some of my family members are pulling Rams, but in the end I had to go with my gut, and that's the Seattle Seahawks, who have been built into a juggernaut by this man, John Schneider. He's the one on the left. got a lot of
That's his
grief
back.
a couple years ago when he won a power struggle with Pete Carroll. And since then, all he's done is hire one of the best coaches in the NFL in Mike McDonald. Upgraded at quarterback. I got to admit it. Geno Smith to Sam Darnold, not a popular move. It's made it happen. And, you know, our producer was asking, like, which pickups should we highlight in this package to talk about the great, you know, player procurement from Schneider? It's like all of them. They're all his guys. Rashid Shaheed returning this during the season was such a big pickup. Darnold, obviously. A.J. Barner was a 4th-round pick just a year ago. DeMarcus Lawrence is one of the best free agent pickups of this entire last season. The draft picks, Smith and Jigba, Gray Zabel. How about Ernest Jones as a trade pickup a year ago? Go up and down the roster.
Like Eamon Warry.
Right, Eamon Warry might be the rookie of the year. Leonard Williams. We live in a league where it's all about the quarterback. And honestly, Darnold, the second half of the season, he's just been okay. And they're killing everyone. I just think this is a juggernaut of a player acquisition program, and they're going to win this game because of it.
Yeah, it would only make sense for the better team to win. I do agree. This is all caveats for you, Seahawks fans. I think the Seahawks are the better football team. I think they have been over the course of the season, and they're the more talented football team. I will be by myself. I will take the Los Angeles Rams to win 26-24. And let's look back at Sam Darnold's postseason performance against the San Francisco 49ers. Statistically, it was pretty well. And if this offense is what it was at the beginning part of the season, they don't just beat the Rams. I think they win the Super Bowl. But this is not the offense we saw earlier in the season. He was playing through the oblique injury. The 2 games against the Rams this season, Sam Darnold has a -15 EPA in both of those games. I think that's not. Yes, we talk about quarterback.
You know, like the points were tied in those games. I don't know.
Yeah, it was. And it took a lot of things happening in Week 16. No, don't apologize.
It kind of makes me glad that we're not all on one side, though.
Exactly.
Because it should be close.
Because like the person who claimed I never said I was wrong after my picks, no. Me celebrating being wrong is like the only thing I do. Seize the Season, brought to you by Caesars Sportsbook. New users can get their first bet matched up to $250. Win or lose. Must be 21 or older. See Caesars.com/promos for full terms. Here are the player props according to Caesars. Matthew Stafford at 254.5 passing yards. Puka Nacua at 91.5 receiving yards. Darnold at 249.5 total yards. 85.5 rushing yards for Kenneth Walker III. And 89.5 receiving yards for Jackson Smith and Jigba. Foam fingers coming back more or less. Greg, will Matthew Stafford throw for more or less than 254 yards on Sunday?
Look, they're good at setting these numbers. It's about where I'd put it, but I'm going to go less. I think it's going to be a defensive game. If you look at the 2 matchups, the latest one is fresh in our mind. The first one, the Rams couldn't move the ball almost at all. I know they got the win in that game. Again, a big Darnold interception game. I ultimately think it's going to be a low-scoring, defensive type of game, and so I'm not projecting huge numbers for either of these quarterbacks. I will go less than 254 for Stafford. Think they get more done on the ground.
Let's go to the Rams side, Cynthia. More or less, the number is 91 yards receiving for Puka Nacua.
For all the opposite reasons of what Greg just said. No, I just think Puka Nacua, he's great at earning yards after the catch, and that's going to be a big factor in this one because if they are going to give him any space at all, he's going to make the most of it. And we know Matthew Stafford, I know that they don't blitz very often, but Matthew Stafford can find those openings, and we saw it last time. Cooper Kupp was on the other side, but I know Puka Nacua was looking, and they were like, oh, you remember that's old Cooper Kupp? That's the exact play we did for him. Let's do it on the other side now.
Speaking of the Super Bowl champion, former Ram, Cooper Kupp, 30 yards against his old team. I am going with more here. Cooper Kupp has hit 30 or more yards in 3 of the last 6 games. One of those games he didn't get it. He had 29 yards. And yes, one of them was against his old team. He had 39 yards against the Rams. It's revenge. It's the postseason. I believe in Cooper Kupp, as should you. When we come back, Greg's Patriots have lost only 1 game since September. There's no way they're losing to his other love, Jarrett Stidham and the Denver Broncos, right? Right? One of us thinks otherwise. Find out who's when we come back in our picks for New England and Denver next. Last time the Broncos and Patriots met in the playoffs was the 2015 AFC Championship game, the last matchup between Peyton Manning and Tom Brady. He hit Owen Daniels for 2 scores in the game. Then down 20-12 in the final minute, Brady found Rob Gronkowski for a 4-yard touchdown, but on the 2-point conversion, looking for Julian Edelman. The pass was picked off by Bradley Roby, and Denver won it 20-18, went on to beat the Panthers in Super Bowl 50. Broncos 4-0 at home all-time versus the Patriots in the playoffs. Bo Nix out for the remainder of the season. So Jarrett Stidham gets the start. New England has been rolling. Who wins and goes to the Super Bowl, Greg?
Well, it's the man who's the only man that matters in Foxborough and in my life. It's Drake May. It's the Patriots that get it done, 23-21 in this game. May has not had the best playoffs, but he's made enough big plays to get by. But look, this season, he's been the best downfield thrower in the league. He's been the best quarterback under pressure in terms of yards per attempt. He's an incredible runner, and no one completes passes into tight windows better. He's excellent against man coverage, which Denver loves to play. I think this is the game in the playoffs against yet another top 5 defense, 3 in a row for Drake May, where he reminds everyone why he was an MVP candidate / front runner, and he does something legendary, becoming the second youngest quarterback to reach the Super Bowl after Dan Marino. He really is one of them ones, and I think he's going to show everyone on Sunday that doesn't matter how good the competition is or how bad the protection is, Drake May can rise above it all.
And even in that, you say he hasn't necessarily played well, but I think how he can play impacts the other teams and the way that they're defended. That's why I'm looking at Ramondre Stevenson in a Patriots 22-17 win where they can keep the ball on the ground. The Broncos are going to be playing man. They are going to be aggressive. And so all that attention that's being paid to 10, as well as Kayshon Boutte, and the outside leave some openings for the guys who have both. It's not just Travion Henderson. Ramondre has turned into the home run hitter late in the season for the New England Patriots. I think they get big contributions on the ground, Cynthia, and get back to the Super Bowl.
Okay. Well, I guess we're doing a prime number here because, I was a little surprised too. I double, triple, quadruple checked the model because, yes, I do think Bo Nix matters. However, I think screen passes and the coach, Sean Payton, matter a little bit more. When I'm looking at what could happen in this game, there is a reason why Bo Nix had the second most yards off of passes intended not to travel beyond the line of scrimmage this season. It's because that was what the game plan was. And they could be getting J.K. Dobbins back. As of this recording, we don't even know. But between him and R.J. Harvey, a lot of the different things they're doing with tight ends, and last game, not even knowing that he wouldn't have Bo Nix for this one, we saw Sean Payton be really tricky, using a lot of motion pre-snap and then throwing the ball using that motion instead of running the ball with the motion or not using motion at all, if you will. So I think that the tricks and the play caller add up to the opportunity here for a stunned Patriots defense and something we're talking about, a non-red team in the Super Bowl in as long as I can remember.
I love it when the model goes against those models out there in the desert. It usually has something going on.
And also with the models of the people who've tapped into the system and they think they know the colors of the team that will be playing in the Super Bowl. Spoiler
There
alert.
isn't red in the logo, though.
It's something. It's something to pay attention to. With NFL Plus, keep the NFL in reach. Stream every playoff game live on mobile, including Super Bowl 60, NFL Network, live game audio, and more with NFL Plus Premium. Get more football with game replays and NFL Pro. Sign up today at plus.nfl.com/network. Terms and conditions apply. Time for quick picks. Let's break down who's going to be the top stat leaders on Championship Sunday. We will start with receiving yards. Greg and I like Puka Nacua, but Cynthia, you're going with another player. Who is that?
Jackson Smith and Jigba? I feel like that's not that it shouldn't be that surprising. I just think that we've seen of late ways to exploit some of the areas in the secondary for the Rams. I'm certain that Clint Kubiak can find them. I think Jackson Smith and Jigba has a massive game.
Let's go to rushing yards. You guys both like Kenneth Walker, but I'm going with Patriots rookie Travion Henderson here. I know. I just talked about Ramondre Stevenson. I know I said they both hit home runs. Yeah, Travion hits a long home run. Ramondre has a great game on the ground, keeps them on schedule, but with defenders following receivers and paying attention to Drake May, I think Travion has a chance to get a couple of long ones, and a big part of why the Patriots win. Last one, who's going to have the most sacks on Sunday? We're all going our separate ways here, but you like Milton Williams.
I do. I think Milton Williams helps to end the 7-year drought that Patriots fans have been going through and sends them to a Super Bowl.
Oh, poor Patriots fans. Oh, my gosh.
You're right. It's so dry in here.
Look, the Panthers wanted to get Milton Williams, and the Patriots came over the top with that big bag of cash. It's been well spent, and I've been talking up Jarrett Stidham all day. Here's the biggest weakness he has shown on his film and in the box score. He takes a lot of sacks. He wants to hold on to the ball and make plays that's going to give the Patriots defensive line a little extra time to get those sacks. So how about an interior defensive lineman? Milton Williams, he is a playoff performer. I mean, he's good in the regular season, but he's a little extra special. We've seen it in a couple
And he
playoffs
needs
now.
to be, Cynthia, because there are 8-year-olds in Foxborough who have never seen the
God,
Patriots.
what are they going to do? What a travesty. I'm a Lions fan. Thank you. What are you talking about, Greg?
It's just been like it's a long time. It hasn't been easy.
Yeah, and it's
That's
it's
easy.
personal for Greg, and I hate to make it about me here, but I've hit my top prop bet 3 straight weeks.
Good job.
Boom shakalaka. NBA Jam rules always apply. Can I make it 4? Momentum would suggest it's a certainty. Can Greg and Cynthia pick it up as well? Our favorite props for Championship Sunday are coming up next here on Game Day View, so grab a pen when we come back. It's time for you to write this down. Get set for Championship Sunday with NFL Game Day Morning. Adam Thielen joins the crew in studio to break down why wide receivers could be the key to deciding who goes to the Super Bowl. Plus, interviews with Rams running back Kyron Williams and Seahawks running back Kenneth Walker. Plus, Kurt Warner explains how the Broncos can pull off the upset with a backup quarterback. What would he know about being a backup quarterback and winning the Super Bowl? All that and more Sunday at 9 a.m. Eastern on Game Day Morning. It is time for Write This Down here on our program as we get to our favorite prop predictions for Championship Sunday, and Greg Rosenthal's batting leadoff.
I am batting leadoff, and I'm going to hit twice here because I need to catch up to this man who's 15-6 on Write This Downs this year. So here's my doubleheader. Jarrett Stidham is going over 198.5 passing yards in this game. Look, Sean Payton's done it with Teddy Bridgewater and Taysom Hill and Drew Brees, of course, but if you line up the backup quarterbacks he's produced with, they've all had great days, and I think this Patriots defense could be vulnerable, and I think he'll be in a situation where he's going to have to throw the ball a lot. So there might be turnovers, there might be sacks, but there'll also be good production. Then you go to the other side. I foresee a Patriots victory here, which means they're getting a lot done on the ground. The Broncos defense gave up so many yards on the ground to zone runs last week in terms of the Bills. Ramondre's been on fire lately. I can't believe how low that number is. I love him to get over 49.5. I'd put him over 79.5. He has been one of the best running backs in the league for the last 5 or 6 weeks.
So 80 yards for Ramondre Stevenson.
Love it.
Greg Rosenthal, I love it. All right, so I'm looking at a number that looks way too low, and it's just Rashid Shaheed to have more than 24.5 receiving yards. When we talked to our producers, like planning this, I heard 34.5, and I was gonna go over that. So I get an extra 10 yards in addition to that? Absolutely. This is all he does. Rashid Shaheed is a home run hitter. You saw it against the Bears. I know that was in special teams, but you're looking at this situation here and you're saying it could happen in just one reception.
Yeah, that's what he does. In fact, the average Rashid Shaheed touchdowns way over 50 yards. I'm looking on the other sideline. Kyron Williams over 55.5 rushing yards against the Seattle Seahawks. 11 of the last football games that Kyron Williams has played, 12 of them. In 11 of those 12 games, Kyron Williams had 55 or more rushing yards.
Wow.
The one was a 34-7 blowout over the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I already talked about the great game he had against the Seattle Seahawks earlier this season. I think he hits that number. And the number that I'm really upset about is after this, we're only going to have one more show, guys.
I can't hear it.
Let's celebrate, though, the 2 big games we got Sunday. It just means more, literally, this time of year.
It is very important. Who goes to the Super Bowl? Enjoy the games. We'll see you next time.